Hi there, Toy here. What does AWP have to do with my reading blog and my writing blog? That's the question. So last week I mentioned that I was going to be sharing some of my AWP experience. So this week is going to be a mashup of my reading blog, my writing blog, and I'm going to do a little bit of a haul too. I'm going to save some special things for my Patreon supporters, but let's just go ahead and get into it. I have a bag. It's a heavy bag. I'm gonna show it to you very briefly, and I'm gonna be pulling stuff out of the bag like a magic act. These are the things that I got from the AWP. So last week, things were just so crazy. I just didn't have time to put it all together. So the book reviews that I should have posted last week are now posted. And so if you want to get more into that, you can. At the end of this, I am going to be talking about one book that I didn't do a video review for, but let's get into some of this AWP stuff, okay? So the first thing is just one of the bags that I got. It's the biggest one, so that's why everything is inside of it. So hopefully you can see that. And this is from the University of Pittsburgh Press. Everything is in it, like I said, just because it was the biggest bag and it had a little clasp on it. So I'm going to be pulling things out of this bag. And if I didn't say it last week, it's important to understand that I went crazy. So I did not know this about AWP, but on the last day, things get nuts and you just end up with stuff. I did pay for some of the things that are in this bag, but I didn't pay for everything that is in this bag. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to tell you what I did or didn't pay for. Just know the last day of AWP gets crazy. So I'm going to start with one item that I picked up because the librarian at the Muse Writer Center wanted to add a collection of zines to our library collection. So that's what this is. There are 16 little zines in here. I'm not going to pull them all out right now, but these will be added to our library. I'll just give you like a little kind of a sneak peek of what one of them looks like. So there's one. And so that's going to be for them. All right, so let's get into all the rest of the stuff in the bag, which is for me. Okay, so let's see here. So I'll be pulling these out. So this is a kind of a map or a guide, not a guide, but I don't know how you say it. So it's like a catalog, I guess. To me, this makes me think of when we used to have like the Scholastic Book Fair at school, and you'd have that little thing you could flip through and see what everything was. That's kind of what this is. So this is from microcosm.pub. And so anyway, you open it up and it's this whole big thing, descriptions, which you may not be able to see all of this, but lots of books. There's like a little comic book type story that goes along with it. And then I realized because I don't have my green screen up, you can't see any of this stuff. I really should have put up my green screen. But anyway, that's one thing that's in here. I'm gonna try to fold this back up. Okay, obviously I did not fold that correctly. Let's see here. Here we go. No. So obviously I've never been the navigator on a long trip, but here's what that is. All right, so this is one that I thought, let me see, is the name on here? Interstellar Flight Press. I thought these guys were so cool. It's basically a husband and wife. The wife does some writing, but together they publish other people's stuff. And this was one of the little collections that I picked up. It's short stories and poetry. Believe Brandon O'Brien is Jamaican, but he's writing stories inspired. What is wrong with me? I can't speak. Inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. So there's some wonky stuff going on in here. I just thought the cover was amazing. So there's something else that I got. Let's figure out how we're gonna stack that. There we go. Glassworks, yes. So they release a journal, and poetry, short stories, and I really need to consider if I'm going to be submitting something to them. I think I am going to do some nonfiction. So that's what I'm writing on for the writing portion of this. I am going over my current iteration of I wish I could eat that with a fine tooth comb, because I did finally find one person who said that they would, read it so I can start trying to submit it, or I can't decide. I might self-publish it. I don't know, but I definitely want to get feedback from someone else before I decide to do whatever it is I'm going to do. But I'm also thinking about submitting some original articles to Glassworks. Okay. This one, now I will admit that this one I did not pay for. The person handed it to me, and it looks kind of sad and depressing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes you need to like read things that kind of reflect the mood that you're in. But I'm afraid that if I open this up, I will go into a state of depression. So I think I know someone that might be good for me to gift this to. They like weird, quirky things. So this one, I have it, but it's not going to be in my possession for long, because I definitely think I'm going to be donating that one. Um, so I believe I have two things from the next one. Where's the other one? It's in here somewhere. Oh my goodness. Oh, here we go. They're different sizes. That's why. Okay, so this is the first of two Gulfstream journals that I got, magazine from Gulfstream. And again, short stories, poetry, you can submit to these guys. And so I'm probably going to be putting something together for that. I like the cover, the black and white photograph. And I remember going to the table and just really having like a nice vibe with these guys, which is why I got two of their journals. I think one, like there's another one in there, but I have personality issues, and so these are right now in order of how they like stack together. So we'll look at the other one later. Um, so this is Clark's World. This is a science fiction anthology. I'm very excited about this. So I really love anthologies. I don't know if you guys know that. You should, if you've been following me at all, is because it's a great way for me to sample the writing of an author or a group of people that I'm not currently familiar with. And it's just a great way to get variety. So I love the fact that this is some science fiction going on. So that's Clark's World. Okay. And here's another science fiction anthology that I came across. This is um they were all, I think they were out, like they had done well, I guess, so sold out of everything. So this was their 2023 anthology, was I think was the only one that was left. So that's the one I got. And so again, just an opportunity for me to read the work of some other people, short stories, mostly poetry. I'm trying to read more poetry. It's a challenge sometimes, because my default when it comes to poetry is when I'm having difficulty expressing an emotion, but to just read it, like, so hopefully this will help with that. Okay. There's more people. That was just the beginning. All right, here we go. All right. Now, so this one, I do remember specifically there was a vendor, I can't remember their name, that had set up basically a vendor version of like their bookstore. And so they're an independent bookstore, and they're like, you can go online and buy stuff from there. But they had a bin of like $5 books. And I don't know that I got my book out of the $5 bin, but it was like this sign that just kind of drew people in. That's really good marketing tip in case that's something you're thinking about. I don't know that that's what I paid for this one, but that sign pulled me in. And anyway, this is a graphic novel, and hopefully you guys know that I like graphic novels, and it's called On the Books, and it says a graphic tale of working woes of a New York City stand bookstore. And so it looks like there's a lot going on in this story. And so I'm excited about that. Okay, now this one, I believe, was someone had misplaced this. It wasn't supposed to be in here. Um, I don't, yeah, I don't know where this came from. So I will be taking it to work and seeing if it belongs to anyone at work. It's very pretty. It's called Environment and Identity. Let me see if it's been signed. Maybe the person who got it had it signed. I don't see a signature anywhere. Um, I mean, it's in my possession. I might read it before I give it back. I mean, it's not very long. It's got some lovely images in it. It looks like it's mostly poetry. So I think someone may have accidentally mixed their stuff in with mine. So I'll be, like I said, taking it to work and seeing if it belongs to someone. And on this one, I definitely remember picking up this one. I even took a picture with the author. So this is a collection of poetry from Rosa Castellano. And she said her brother came up with this image for the cover. The image was really eye-catching. I really like that. And so we did take a picture and I posted that on Instagram. So I definitely remember purchasing this one. This one, I think I got it on either day one or day two. This was not a day three extravaganza pickup. Okay. Here's the other Gulf Stream that I mentioned before. I had two of them. And so this is the other one. So this one has an oyster on the front of it, which, I'm not a big oyster eater, but I do like them. I don't know, something about their appearance. And there's got some, some funky things in here, like some images, some equations, believe it or not, some graphs. So I'm really excited about both of my Gulfstream magazines and looking at what's inside those. This is another one that I'm very excited about. So I went to this table. I was drawn in by the cover of this anthology. I just thought it looked kind of whimsical and I was very interested. And so I went over and talked to the guy, talked about their publication and their submission process and everything. So I'm definitely going to be trying to submit something to these guys, but I'm also very excited to have this anthology to read. So there we go. That was Idaho Review. And then the last one that I have here is Broad Ripple Review. So this was just kind of a sample thing that they put out. They had some other ones, like this is just a very lovely image. Some things that they had sold out of the other stuff. And so I was able to grab one of these on the way out. Okay, so those are the absolutely crazy, bonkers, ridiculous book haul that I got. This I thought was really cool because AWP was in Baltimore. There's a group, I can't remember which group this is. This is okay, of course I don't see it on here, but one of their local like nonprofit groups with their youth came up with this map that shows you all of like the literary stuff in the area. And I just thought it was so cool. Apparently we used to have something like that for Norfolk. So hopefully someone local is working on that again. Because I know we have a lot of literary stuff in Norfolk, in Hampton Roads. So yeah, doesn't have to just be Norfolk, but anyway. So I got a bunch of other bags. I got the Tri-Quarterly, gave me a nice little tote with a black strap. So there's that. Let's see what else we got. This is me trying to fold it in the middle of this haul. Is it important? No, but can't help myself. And then I got Rumpus, which I really like them and their stuff. I might try to submit to them as well. They were actually hosting a flash short story contest, and they gave you like this postcard to write on. I don't know if they can read my submission because I like went off on this story that I wanted to write, and I was writing so teeny tiny. So it was just a great way to get some words out. Sometimes if the muse strikes, you gotta write. Even if nothing ever comes of that story, just having them hand me that postcard was just like something that helped me come up with this story. And so I wrote it, like I said, it was teeny tiny. So I did, take a picture of it so that if I never see that story again, I still have that story. I might do something with it, but we'll see. And then of course, it's AWP. So the conference gave us a bag. So there's some writing here in Baltimore and the conference center is here. So I thought, yes, I like the colors, the blue and the purple. So there's another bag. Oh, there's another publication down here. The Writer Center magazine. Nice little publication. And this has a bunch of events and dates. And so this is for the event. So I guess it's like a good keepsake to have. Yeah. Okay. And then there's all kinds of business cards and contacts and things that I should have gone through already. But like I said, things have been a bit of a whirlwind, a bit crazy. As soon as I got back in town, I had, of course, medical appointments to attend to. So, you know, if I've missed an opportunity because it took me too long to get back to all of these people, then it just wasn't meant to be because there's just so much here, so much here. I just can't. I'm gonna be going through it all today, but I just hadn't gone through it yet because I was overwhelmed. That's the short end of it. So got a whole stack of like business cards and postcards and all kinds of things that I need to go through and just, thank them for like their connections and things like that moving forward. And let's see, I got some swag here. I got these little pencils from the University of Washington MFA program. They have these a little pencil set with a little notebook. And so one of my coworkers, she told me she just really likes pencils. So I got two of them. I took the little notebook out of the one that was for me already. I'm using it, but I'll give her the one that's still in the bag. I just haven't gotten it to her yet. And I did pick up another little notebook that says the Writer Center on it. And so I got a Rumpus sticker, which I have two Rumpus sticker. One of these is going to go on my laptop, and then I'm not sure what to do with the other one just yet, but I'm definitely going to be doing something with it. Constant Wonder, it's a podcast that I discovered at AWP. I'm going to start listening to, and of course, Rinky Dink Press sticker is probably going to go on my laptop or drink bottle or something because it's just really cool. Meridian gave me a cool sticker. Furious Flower. Oh, here's one of the little collection of the zines that I showed you earlier. I'm gonna pull those out and show those later to my Patreon community. But this was one that I got just for myself. I like the little image on it. It's like a little Red Riding Hood thing, and inside is an actual, a little short story and some poems related to this kind of snarky image that's on the front. So I got that just for myself. Some other swag, of course, pen. I did stop by the table of Chill Subs and got a Chill Subs bracelet. I really like Chill Subs. It's been very instrumental in me kind of breaking through my own insecurities and barriers when it comes to submitting content to anthologies and magazines and journals and things like that. So it's a really wonderful service. So if you are interested in that kind of thing at all, definitely look into Chill Subs. And so I got this bracelet, which is also from Gulfstream. So because I got two of their anthologies, I got a bracelet just because. And this matched the outfit that I happened to be wearing that day. So I do remember that. Um, let's see here. Okay, I don't remember. I think who gave me this? I don't know. I think this might have been, you know what? I don't know. One of the tables for an MFA program gave me this little. Why can't I say what this is? You guys know what this is. This it's a squeeze ball, but that's not what it's called. Stress relief ball, stress ball. Anyway, I like it because the little tip of the fire, it fits perfectly like in between your fingers. And sometimes like that's where the most stress is. I don't know why, but he's so cute and he's on fire and yeah, he's great. And then some really cool stickers from a table. This I can't remember his name. I have his card in here somewhere. African guy who helps promote and distribute works by African authors. And so we're really hoping that maybe he can do something at the Muse. We'll see. I think I've gotten through pretty much everything. The last cool little thing in the bag that I got is an AWP writer sticker that is definitely going on my laptop. I don't know why it's not on there already. And then so just a few more things I got from Rumpus. They had these really cool poker chips. I thought they're nice. So I got one for me, my niece, and my sister. My sister's not big into writing, but I just think she would like the poker chips. So anyway, so that is that, people. That was the AWP kind of writing haul portion of the video. We're gonna try to wrap this up so that this doesn't last forever. Like I said, this is AWP recap. This is a writing blog, a reading blog. I talked about how I've just been focusing on polishing that memoir. I wish I could eat that. That's the main thing that I'm writing. But I'm actually getting ready to get back into some of my fiction. I have neglected the toy box of words for so long. I looked at it recently. The muse is starting to flow. So I think I'm definitely getting close to concluding that story. And because it's been a while, just a reminder, that is where I've taken a bunch of my previous science fiction stories and put them together in this overarching story so that it's like an anthology, but it's telling the story of a young man who discovers his grandfather's video game. And he's going through each level, which is a short story, and just finding this connection, and there's a bit of magic involved. So yeah, that is the toy box of words. So I'm gonna be working on finishing that. I did finish the Wagon's Path. I believe that post went up either yesterday or today, so that's completed. And then I really really want to get back to the Mark of Bletzian. This book has been put off for so long, and if I could just get through this zero or first draft of that, it would mean so much to me. Even if it never sees the light of day, I would feel better knowing that I have not completely neglected this story that has meant so much to me for so long. And the few people who read the original Eternal Curse, they deserve it. So definitely going to be picking back up with the Mark of Bletzian, finishing up the Toy Box of Words, just finished with the A Wagon's Path, and maybe coming up with some ideas to submit to some of the different publishers and things like that that I've made connections with. All of this hopefully will help me with presenting when I go to RavenCon at the end of April. But let's bring it on home and get into the very quick portion of this that is reading blog. Like I said, I've already posted reviews for the books that I read in February. The only one that I didn't do a video for, but I did post a review, is public, was a book that I got. And so I want to explain that I don't have I've reviewed books like this before, but I didn't really want to rate the book. I just wanted to review it because I don't want it to feel like I'm punishing the author by not giving them a high rating, because it's a genre that I just know I don't like, and that's not a bad reflection on the author. But then again, I also don't want to give it a high rating because then it does seem like it's a whole thing. I ended up having to give it a rating on one site because they would not let me leave the review without the rating. And so because I left a rating on one site, it kind of forced me to leave a rating everywhere else. So that's the whole reason why I just didn't do a video for it. But if you are curious, it's called Her Nutcracker Boyfriend. It is an erotic tale. I read it because I'm familiar with this author. I respect her work. It's still not my genre. Every time I've tried it, I've just not read one that I've just been like, ooh, I could definitely read more of this. I will say that of the different ones that I've read, this one was probably the best. So anyway, that is why I didn't do a video review for that one, but it's definitely public, like it's not a secret or anything like that. It's on Goodreads. I believe it's on BookBub. I'm not sure, but I know it's definitely on Amazon. So I did review it. You can go and look at that if you want to. It's just really hard to rate something when you're very kind of like in the middle ground with it. So if that is your genre, then yeah. If it's not, don't, you know. So anyway, just kind of throwing this out there. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't even bother reviewing things, and people have different reasons for it. I'm not going to get into that whole debate right now. For me, though, I think it's interesting that there are people who are very adamant about not reviewing certain things, but they will review other things. Like they will leave reviews for like food and things like that, but not books. When authors, we work so hard, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into these works. People complain when they have to pay for them, and then they, won't review them. It's interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic. But that is a blog or a podcast for another day. So, what did you guys think? My haul was a little crazy, but it is what it is. And that is all I have for now. If you've ever gone to AWP and you know what's happening on day 3 or the last day of the event, tell me in the comments. Otherwise, guys, stay safe, keep reading, and be blessed.
Hey, guess what? If you like what you see, you can totally subscribe to this channel. You could also give it a like and leave me a comment. I would totally love that. Okay, bye-bye.